Hello everyone, I'm the Canadian Gaming Penguin. Picking off where we last were, Minfilia has a quest for us. Life, materia, and everything. And with this we will get a weapon of item level 18 through 21. Not that we need it at this point because we are... well then again, maybe we will. Anyway, life, materia, and everything. Minfilia would like you to meet a distinguished individual. Though we seek a peaceful solution to the primal problem, we must needs be ready to fight for a cause that you might take to the field suitably prepared. I would have you meet with a goblin acquaintance of mine. His name is Mutamix Bubblepots, and he is a scholar of no small repute. Mutamix is renowned for having introduced a revolutionary method of enhancing equipment to Eorzea. The knowledge of this method was once a closely guarded secret, but thanks to Mutamix and his students, it has now been disseminated to the great benefit of all the realm. It would serve you well to acquire an understanding of the process. For this purpose, I shall lend you a blade. Take it to Mutamix and bid him use it to demonstrate his craft to you. Mutamix is ever to be found at his camp in central Thanalan, a place known as the Bonfire. Look for a pillar of smoke and the way will become clear. And this is all the way over there. Past here, and around the corner with this strange thing. You may have already been here to get the Materia unlocking and stuff, and that is exactly what it is that Minfilia wanted to introduce us to. With this, obviously, if you hadn't been here, this is your introduction to it. Psh, psh. Who is Uplander come to tentering of Mutamix Bubblepots? Minfilia's dagger. This plain dagger has absolutely no defining characteristics except that the hilt does smell quite nice. Okay. Filthy tools drinks an airy self. Wait, what? When full of air self, fighty tool changes to stony shine. Name of Materia. If Materia join with other fighty tool, then Big Eyes 50 fighty tool gains power of airy self. I never actually paid attention to the fact that the other ones were talking. Like these guys too. Anyway, Mutamix is reckoning that Uplander's friend of Minfilia. Yeah? Yes, tongue flaps reach ears and Mutamix with fastness. Minfilia wants Uplander to see power Materia. Uplander brings fighty tool to Mutamix, yes? Yeah? Fighty tool is unstrong as eating tool. Make good teachy show of power and Materia. The Materia Master. Now, eyes of Uplander point at fighty tool, yes? Psh, psh. Materia join with fighty tool. Fighty tool gains power in Materia. Fighty tool reborn. Here, Uplander, take fighty tool to Minfilia. Materia, strictly speaking, is a kind of crystal. It is created by drawing out the etheric constituents from a piece of equipment and then crystallizing them. Not just any old equipment will serve, mind you. It must have sufficient spirit bond, that being a measure of how fully an item has been imbued with its owner's spirit. When you attach a piece of materia to gear, you imbue the host item with its power. That's how Master Mutamix turned that dagger of yours from someone as would have struggled to cut steak into a weapon worth wielding. Psh, psh. Uplander wishes to be joiner of Materia? Then Uplander must best fill braincase with knowings of crafty making. With knowings of crafty making, Uplander can become joiner of Materia. If Uplander wants braincase to rattle with knowings of Materia, Uplander best trade tongue flaps with learning ones of Mutamix. Now, I've already actually done this, but otherwise you would have like quests here, and then the next one that I can't do yet is this one because I need to be a level 19 Disciple of the Hand, and that totally looks like a level 19 somewhere there, right? I'm sure that adds up to 19, and then some. Anyways, back to Minfilia, and we are going to waste one of our Aetheryte tickets there. Minfilia. Welcome back, Totoro. I trust your visit to the bonfire proved fruitful. Materia Enhanced Dagger. A once ordinary dagger, now made special with the wonders of Materia. Ah, what a remarkable difference a single piece of materia can make. Granted, the skills needed to manipulate the substance are not easily acquired, but one need only look upon the results to really realize such efforts are worthwhile. As I am sure you are aware, the quality of one's equipment can be the difference between victory and defeat. Materia may well give you the edge you need, Totoro, so make it your ally. Now it is time we discuss the matter of your next mission. Pray speak with me when you are ready to begin. La 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 la, let's open this up and see what we get. Something good. Literally what we just got. Because I just did the quest for this. Lord of the Inferno, Minfilia would like you to assist the Immortal Flames. Word has arrived from Thancred concerning our ongoing investigation. It appears he was able to extract some information from our friend Ungust, the false priest. He revealed that he is due to meet with the Amalj'aa to discuss their dealings. The Immortal Flames believe that the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Amalj'aa responsible for the abductions, and so they mean to have Ungust attend as planned. As the Amalj'aa are anticipated to offer fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. I would have you provide it to them, Totoro. Ifrit is presently attending to another matter, but will join you as soon as he is able. Until such time as he does, you will be the Scion Soul representative on the ground. Before he left, he bade me to tell you to save some for him. Such is his confidence in you, a confidence I share. When you have made ready, pray take yourself to Camp Drybone and report to the Flame Sergeant leading the mission. May you walk in the light of the crystal. And off to Camp Drybone we go. And heading into this building, we need to speak with the Flame Sergeant. Ah, you're Totoro of the Scions. My thanks for coming, friend. We are stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on your mission. Our objective is to capture Amalj'aa and prize from them the whereabouts of the abductees. The lizardmen aren't aware that their man Ungust has been exposed. When they come to the rendezvous point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Owing to the clandestine nature of the mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count, and so we request the aid of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place in the invisible city. Please make your way there and lie in wait. We stand to learn much and more of the Amalj'aa plot if the mission succeeds, Totoro. Let's make sure it does. And with that, we need to head over there. Is the bait in place? Our man is in position, sir. Good. We make our move as soon as the Amalj'aa appear. Yes, sir. Wow. What is the meaning of this? Wait, something is amiss. It's a trap. I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. I eluded the Immortal Flame's clutches for moons before finally getting caught. Did you never not wonder how I managed it? It was almost as if someone was feeding him information from the inside. Aye, your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I'd love to chat a while, I have appointments to keep. They're all yours. Filthy traitors, wanna get my hands on you? How long will we last, I wonder? I mean, all things considered, technically we're not doing too bad. Another wave! Stay sharp, man! Is there no end to them? Hehe, this show's only the beginning. Or just this. Hehe, this show is only just beginning. There we go. I can read. Put up your weapon or your comrade's a dead man. Behind you! Sleepy time. Bring her. The rest of you march. Traitor scum. And thus we are in this encampment. If you open up the map, you'll see that we're in a little area here. But anyway, the soldiers are over here. Captured Flame Private. The lizardmen marched us to their stronghold. They're preparing for something, and I, for one, do not want to be around when they finish. Captured Flame Private. They're going to kill us, aren't they? Gods, I don't want to die. I want to go home. Flame Sergeant. I feel the Amalj'aa means to give us to their god as an offering. If I must die, then let me die a soldier's death, with steel in hand. The Bowl of Embers now accessible. And if you don't want to stay in this area, you can talk to this Flame Private here, who will tell you that there's a little sneaky passage out over there, and then it'll take you back out. But we are not going to do that, and we are going to go as healer, because we can. Yeah, I think that'll be a faster queue. The Bowl of Embers. Owing to a betrayal, you have been captured by the Amalj'aa and taken to their stronghold of Zanrak, there to be given as an offering to the Primal Ifrit. If you are able to survive this fiery encounter with the Lord of the Inferno, you and your comrades must fight with no less than every ounce of your strength. Should you fall, your souls shall burn for eternity. Okay, that was definitely fast. Way faster than expected. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from our misery. Oh, a mighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you, grace us with your divine presence. O mighty Ifrit, we bring before you ignorant savages who know not your godhead. Ifrit, please you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame and mark them as your own. Bloody hells! Bring those two as well. Ung. What's going on? This ain't what we agreed. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the rite of summoning. The souls of unbelievers are forfeit. No! Spare me, I beg you!
Pitiful children of man, by my breath I claim you. Arise once more as my loyal minions. Feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn.
Toasty. Oh, mighty Ifrit. My one true god. Your words are my bread. Impossible! By what sorcery did you resist my master's will? Could it be? Your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation.
Forsooth, thy frail mortal flames can serve as vessel to the blessing of one, yet I smell not the taint of another upon thee. The truth of thine allegiance waxeth clear. Thou art of the godless, spell's its number, the paragon's wand of thine abhorrent kind. Thine existence is not to be suffered.
Ooh, shiny crystal. It's a floating shiny crystal. Pray forgive my lateness. I was delayed by a congregation of Amalj'aa zealots. I swear each seemed more evangelical than the last. Humph for persistent lot. Phew. I see the Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives, no less than I'd expect from the Flame General's hand-picked men. As for those two, it is far to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Totara. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would never have left you to face it alone. You have been given a veritable baptism of fire. But let's continue this conversation in more agreeable surrounds. Camp Drybone, shall we say? This way, sir. So that was the mighty Ifrit. And what a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I had anticipated, even taking Ul'Dawn interference into account. You should know better than to rely upon 5-year-old data left by the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the Motherland, given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Livia. Promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any reading worth a darn. Not that there was aught worth a darn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I am troubled by that adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but this is a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. With allies like that, beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. Flamey flame, flame flames. Flamity flames. And speaking to Thancred again. Ah, there you are, Totara. Come, rest a while. You will have no better opportunity. After witnessing their god's ignominious defeat, the Amalj'aa will be less inclined to risk our wrath, for a time at least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said for their minds. For once a man is tempered. But it ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortunes, there is still some reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand, no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, Totara. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I have long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to the mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax and return to the Waking Sands when you're good and ready. We can discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. Scion of the 7th Dawn. Ah, the triumphant hero returns! Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. And with that we also get Dawn wrist guards, which are a snazzy, which are nice. I can speak. My late arrival nearly cost Totara her life. I wasn't there when the Amalj'aa took her prisoner, and I wasn't there when they served her to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle she survived. That does not excuse the fact that she should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed her utterly, just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can't blame yourself for every... Totara, it's so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I had just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear, and now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalj'aa undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their Primal, Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa and Gridania of late. I dare say we've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the Primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, Primals must consume Aether if they are to maintain their presence here, and the stronger they become, the more Aether they require. Now, Aether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of Aether: crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a Primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how Primals are born. When all is well with the world, Primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of Aether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the Primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon towards which a primal essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the Primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give, and in order to gain more power they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remained unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is as though a great power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The Immortal Flames assure me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Totara. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or no, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I am sorry to report that all are to be put to death, the flames with whom you are imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the Primal whom he cannot choose but worship. And so we sign to continue our fight that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Totara. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Gods forgive me. How many more lives? Louis would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. Minfilia. So let's just pretend we took a rest. A hero in the making. Minfilia is wearing a wry smile. Might it have something to do with your newfound fame? Until not very long ago, you were but one of many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Y'shtola that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the Primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in so doing. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, Totara. Or rather, you have guests. Hey, pardons! Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I am given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I'm here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, Totara, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such strengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Totara's deeds spread so quickly. That the Immortal Flame should know of her triumph is to be expected. But what of the other Grand Companies? Eep! I wonder if somebody's guilty. Your reputation precedes you, Mistress Tora. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can face a primal and emerge the victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant women such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure the peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Mistress Tora. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. A woman of your talent belongs with the Immortal Flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you'd have a look of a hero. Well, often does she speak of you, friend. As do many others in Limsa. Long before the rest of Eorzea took note, your name was well known to us, owing to your valorous deeds on behalf of our citizens. It's only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa to the shores of glory. Lady Minfilia! Sigh. Very well. Though I am quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help to clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of the respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the Grand Companies best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, You are entitled to do so, and yet I concede that it is no small choice you face. Ah, a thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I'm given to understand that the leader of each grand company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? All right, I find suggestion. You are as wise as you're beautiful, my lady. Very well, let Totara hear our leader speak, then return here with her decision. We eagerly await your answer. I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a grand company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Totara, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that the great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are but one woman. In the midst of a grand company, however, you will be one woman amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The grand companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of the location. Eorzea is changing, Totara, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now it is the time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will apprise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. Minfilia. With the power you possess, there will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are but one woman. In the midst of a grand company, however, you will be one amongst many, and you're repeating what you said before. The Elder Seedseer speaks only truth, and her words have the power to touch the soul. At the sound of her voice, all fall silent and attend her. The Flame General is a passionate man. His words never fail to light a fire of the belly of those who listen. I'm sure you will be no exception. When the Admiral speaks, even pirates listen. That is no small thing. She is a born leader, the kind one who gladly follow you to the 7th hell. Okay. And before we speak to Tataru, we're actually going to leave it there.